Today we're going to continue talking about solving inequalities by addition and subtraction. Yesterday, all of the inequalities that we solved produced final inequalities where the variable was on the left. Today we're going to talk about inequalities where the variable will end up being possibly on the right, and we're also going to be doing a word problem. So let's get into the review. So just like we talked about yesterday, when we solve inequalities, we solve them exactly as we would do with regular equations, but instead of the addition and subtraction properties of equality, we use the subtraction and addition properties of inequality, and we get a solution set rather than one specific solution. So let's start with an example. Now, yesterday, this inequality would have been written as this: b minus 8 is greater than 10. Okay? Now, there's nothing to stop us from getting a problem like this and rewriting it like this. However, let's talk about what to do if we decide to solve it in the form that it is already written in. So obviously I want to isolate my variable b, and in order to undo what's being done to it, I'm going to add 8 to each side using the addition property of inequality. That will zero out the 8's, leaving me just b on this side. Drop down my sign, so I'll have b is greater than 18. Now, we had talked about a trick in class where we always shade in the direction of the inequality symbol. However, in this case, my variable is on the right side, so I cannot shade in that direction. So let's scale our graph. Since I'm looking at the value 18, I'm going to scale by 9s. And let's put some negative numbers in. Now, when I put my circle, I know it's going to be an open circle at 18. And I know b is everything that is larger than 18. So I'm going to think of a test point. Let's think of the value 36. Is 36 going to make this a true statement? Is 18 less than 36? It surely is, so I know I'm going to shade everything to the right, which is in the opposite direction of the arrow. Now, to eliminate any problems, once you get to this point, you can rewrite your inequality as b is greater than 18, which will then again show you that you're going to shade in that direction from wherever your circle is. Okay? Let's do another one. Negative 21 is less than a minus 16, and in this case, again, we are going to graph, so I'm going to use this number line that's up here, but I'm going to rewrite my inequality down here. So negative 21 is less than a minus 16. I'm going to add 16 to each side. That's going to give me negative 5 is less than a. I'm going to rewrite my inequality. That's going to be a is greater than negative 5. I'm going to go to graph. I'm going to scale my graph by 1s in this case. Let me get my negative values going. Alright, so I know since it's a less than symbol, or in this case it's a greater than symbol, it's an open circle, since it's not or equal to. And since a is going to be greater than everything that is, since a is everything that is greater than negative 5, I'm going to shade to the right, going all the way to the end of my number line to indicate that all of those numbers would be included. Okay? Alright, let's take a look at a word problem. So before, when we did our one-step and two-step equation word problems, we took the word problem, we broke it down into what we know, what we don't know, and then we created an equation out of that situation. With inequalities, it's the same process. So let's take a look at this problem. Edgar's August profit of $137, so that seems like something important, was at least $20 higher than his July profit. What was his July's profit? So we know that the thing that we're looking for, which we're going to use a variable for, let's call it x, equals July profit. Now, whenever we think about this problem and summarize it, I know that August had a larger profit than July. So we know that August was at least $20 higher than his July profit. So we know that July plus 20 would bring me as close to August as possible, because July was at least $20 higher than, August was at least $20 higher than July. So I know what August was. I know that I don't know what July is, but I know that if I add 20 to that, I will figure out what July's profit could possibly be. So I'm going to subtract 20 from each side. That's going to give me 117 is greater than or equal to x. So I know that in July, Edgar's profit was at least, or at most $117. It could have been 117, it could have been less, but it could not have been any more than 117. And that is what I get from this problem. Okay? So tomorrow we'll do one word problem, and then we'll break later on in the week to do a lot more word problems and talk a little bit more about how to set them up. Okay? But as of right now, you have a problem of the day. First thing we'll do when you come to class tomorrow is go over it and have you guys come up to the board and tell me how to solve these problems. As of right now, though, we're done, so have a great night.